All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're unpacking a legend. We're not just talking about some animal you might see in a nature doc, we're talking about a cultural icon, a symbol of pure, relentless toughness. Of course, I'm talking about the honey badger. You've probably heard this phrase before, right? It's even in the Guinness Book of World Records. But behind that epic title is a real, living creature, one that's built to survive in some of the most unforgiving places on the planet. And that's really the big question we're tackling in this explainer. We're going to peel back the layers of the meme, the legend, and the reputation to find out what really makes this animal tick. Is it all just hype, or is the biological truth even more wild than the stories? Okay, so first things first, let's talk about how the honey badger basically broke out of the animal kingdom and invaded our culture. I mean, its fame goes way beyond just being an animal. It's become a global shorthand for defiance. Think about how widespread this is. It all really blew up with that viral honey badger don't care video. From there, its reputation for being unstoppable made it the perfect symbol for Bitcoin's resilience. In the sports world, it's the famous nickname for the ferocious NFL player Tyrann Mathieu. And of course, in documentaries like Masters of Mayhem, it's constantly being called the meanest animal in the world. So yeah, the reputation is massive. But where does it come from? What's backing it up? Well, now we get to the really cool part, the hard science. We're going to look at the biological hardware that makes the honey badger, well, a walking fortress. This is basically the honey badger's survival toolkit, and every single piece of it is incredible. First, you've got its skin. It's super loose and tough. We're talking 6 millimeters thick around the neck. This means if a predator grabs it, the badger can literally twist around inside its own skin and bite its attacker. Then, the claws. They're so powerful, it can dig a burrow in rock-hard ground in about 10 minutes. If that fails, it has a defensive stink bomb. It can release this suffocating scent from an anal gland. And of course, the most famous tool in the kit, its unbelievable resistance to snake venom. And that venom resistance? It's not just a myth, and it's not just luck. It's a highly evolved, very specific biochemical defense. It's a genuine superpower that's happening right down at the molecular level. So to really get how this works, we need to quickly talk about a concept called convergent evolution. All it means is that sometimes completely different and unrelated species will independently evolve the exact same solution to the same problem. And in this case, that problem is a faceful of deadly snake venom. This chart just illustrates it perfectly. You see, the honey badger has these specific amino acid replacements in its nerve receptors that literally block snake neurotoxins from working. But here is the absolutely wild part. Hedgehogs and pigs, which are not even remotely related, evolved almost the exact same changes to do the same thing. The mongoose came up with a slightly different fix, but at the very same spot. Nature solved this same deadly problem at least 4 separate times in mammals. It's incredible. But the honey badger isn't just a tough guy. There's some serious intelligence there, too. And this brings us to one of the most fascinating and debated stories in the entire animal kingdom. Its alleged partnership with a bird. For literally centuries, there have been these stories about a little bird called a honey guide that supposedly leads a honey badger to a beehive. The deal is, the badger breaks it open, gets the honey, and the bird gets to eat the leftover beeswax. But for a long, long time, scientists were, well, they were pretty skeptical. So, is it a myth or is it reality? Well, some recent research has shed some amazing new light on this. Scientists interviewed hundreds of honey hunters all across Africa. And in Tanzania, they found something fascinating. Among the Hadzabe people, who are incredible hunter-gatherers, a whopping 61% of them said they had personally seen honey guides and honey badgers interacting right near beehives. That's not a video recording, but it is the strongest evidence we've ever had that this ancient story might actually be true. Okay, let's bring all of this full circle. We've seen the biology, we've seen the intelligence. So why are we, as humans, so drawn to this animal? What happens when a person gets compared to a honey badger? Let's just quickly recap the animal's core identity. It's ferocious and fearless. It's incredibly versatile and adaptable. And for its size, its impact on its environment is huge. Keep those 3 things in your head. Now look at how people describe the NFL player Tyrann Mathieu, the honey badger. The language is practically identical. Commentators talk about his ferocious playing style. They said his versatility was so unique. And here's the kicker. His impact, though, far exceeded his stature. I mean, come on, the parallels are just uncanny. And that versatility is the whole point. Just like the animal can eat almost anything and live almost anywhere, Matu could play any position his team needed. His coaches literally called him the glue of the defense because he could adapt on the fly and hold the entire unit together. So, as we start to wrap this up, it becomes really clear that the honey badger is so much more than just a viral video or a tough guy reputation. We love to say the honey badger doesn't care, but that kind of misses the whole point. It's not that it's indifferent to getting hurt, it's that evolution has equipped it with the absolute perfect set of tools to face danger and win. It's really a living, breathing masterclass in survival against all odds. It's an incredible lesson in convergent evolution, showing how nature can arrive at the same brilliant answer over and over again. And it points to a level of intelligence and even cooperation that we're really only just starting to appreciate. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Why this animal? Out of all the creatures on Earth, why do we use the honey badger as the benchmark for our toughest athletes and our most resilient ideas? Maybe our obsession with it isn't just about the animal, but it's about seeing a reflection of the kind of fearless, adaptable resilience that, deep down, we all want to have ourselves.